Next is comprehensive travel insurance to cover medical and hospital charges, including associated repatriation costs. So, a lot of people don't know associated repatriation costs means. I didn't when I was doing this. What that means is if you die, your insurance covers delivering your body back to Australia. Bit morbid, but it's what insurance companies have to deal with. Now, this step, you can shop around. However, I did do a bit of shopping around and I found that it was literally only uh, about $70 extra. I went with Allianz comprehensive travel insurance. I believe I paid 1,150 and that was for the full year. $1,150 that covered everything and got me my visa. It also did include the repatriation costs. You can obviously can shop around, but I went with a well-known brand and it really wasn't that much more expensive. So I'll add that to the sufficient funds. Paid 1,000, about 1,150. Obviously that changes for when you'll be doing it, but this is just a baseline so you can prepare yourself and budget a bit better. Comprehensive travel insurance. Then we can go back to here, scroll up and hold travel insurance before traveling to Spain. Have that done. Oops. Change that to green. And when you bring the paperwork for the insurance, you just get your certificate of insurance. You print it out and it just shows the dates covered. Basically, it just says comprehensive travel insurance on it. The dates, your name, and how much you paid. You don't need to print out the full PDS that has that little section that includes associated repatriation costs. All right, we'll scroll down. And the next part, working holiday visa continued. A medical certificate from your doctor or GP less than 3 months old with the following text both in Spanish and English. So now this is when you have to start thinking on your feet a little bit. And this is when the timeline starts making a bit more sense. So everything up until now was pretty much was in month 0. But now with this point, we'll be moving into month 1. So what you should have by now is your appointment booked. Let's let's just say it's 15th of May. So you need your appointment booked. How to book that is you email the consulate and you just write, hey, I would like to book an appointment for the 15th of May at this time, 10 a.m. Bear in mind, the consulate office is only open from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. I should really check that. Glad I checked. The Sydney consular office is open Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. till 2 p.m. That is very common working hours for anything to do with bureaucracy related in Spain. They almost only work half a day, and then anything you want to do, like let's say you want to do working holiday visa and you can only come at 1 p.m., they'll usually say, no, you can only do that at like 10 a.m. So make sure you have a day off from work or whatever and try and get the 10 a.m. sort of slot. That's very normal in Spain when you're here as well. It kind of works the same. Like, hey, you can only do this at 10 a.m. You can't do this sort of thing at 1 p.m. because it's too late in the day, whatever the reason is. One of the quirks of of living in Spain. So I will flash the email on screen, but I will also add it here and in the description below so you can copy and paste it. So I'll put visa appointment email. Is that I'll put that in the description so you can copy and paste it. And you just send them an email saying, hi, I would like to make a reservation at 10 a.m. on May the 15th. And then they'll respond back to you saying, hey, that works for us, or can we do this day? That sort of thing. Back to this. So I went to my local doctor and I said, hey, I'm applying for a working holiday visa. I need to say I need a medical certificate from you that says this. This does not suffer. This medical certificate states that Mr. slash Mrs. does not suffer from any of the diseases that can have serious implications for public health, pursuant to the provisions of the International Health Regulations 2005. And my local doctor, my family doctor, just went, okay, what does that mean? What test do you need to do? Like, this very ambiguous. And I was just like, oh, I kind of don't know. This is why I came to you. And so he was just, makes no sense. What we'll do is an ECG. So that just tests your heart and your heart rate and stuff like that. Pretty easy. And then he did a urine test and a blood test just to check for any sort of diseases and any sort of STDs, which kind of funny, but yeah, that's what we did. And then when I got through all of that, thankfully I passed all my health exams with him. I said it needs to write this, say this specifically, and it needs to say this sentence in Spanish. So we got through all that, and he said, "Nope, I will not write that." And he just put, um, uh, uh, "My patient is fit to work and study." That's all he put. Not good enough. So what I did is I got my health results from him and his doctor's certificate. I went to another medical center, looked online through their website, and found a doctor that had a Spanish sounding last name. Then I just booked in with him, um, and he was a private doctor, so I just paid a small fee. Brought my printed out results from my normal doctor, and just said, "Hey, this is what happened." He didn't want to write this in Spanish. I'm sure you can understand. Spanish paperwork needs to be exact. Here are all my results. Can you please do this for me? And he just looked at the results and went, "Yep, that's fine." And he wrote all this out for me in English and in Spanish and printed it out for me and gave it to me, paid the small fee, and that was done. Easy. So that step, again, you're in month one now. You've booked your appointment. So this doctor visit, it needs to be less than 3 months away from your visa appointment. Otherwise, they'll just come back and say no. So now you're in month one, completed your visa appointment. So I'll put a text box here. Month one, between month one and three, you need to have completed doctor's appointment and obtained medical certificate from them. The tests up, so I'll put that all across here. And yeah, so this is what needs to be done within the time frame. Now that we've done that, next up, oh yeah, and that, so the visit to my doctor, my family doctor, was free. But then obviously I had to basically pay another doctor to get that translated. I paid about $45 for just a short private doctor's consultation, doctor fee. Obviously, if you have a family doctor and is bulk billed, or you pay for medical insurance, that sort of stuff, this fee will be different for you. But for me, I'll just put $45 doctor fee because that's what it cost me. And then we'll move on to the next step. Next step is a national police clearance certificate from Australia and any other country where the applicant has lived for the last 5 years. Again, this document must be less than 3 months old, so we are within that time frame. We're within that 3 month time frame. We need to be on our feet a bit more. Um, I will put the link to the offline form in the description of this video. Also, it is here if you want to copy and type it out. National Police Check, offline form. And then underneath, we'll get to that later. Address to mail to in Canberra. We'll get to that later. Note, please do not forward a copy of your actual fingerprints. We require the results of the police checked against your name and fingerprints. So this will make sense a bit later. But for now, we will, so this, I'll explain how the process works and then we'll go through the form together. First, you need to fill out this offline form. then print it out at home, that's fine. And then you need to go to your post office again and then buy a prepaid express envelope. So you'll see them all over the walls and stuff, prepaid express envelope. Just come up to the post office worker. I just want to pay for this and not mail anything yet. Pay for it. Off the top of my head, it was something around $5. So I put here, like, shouldn't really even need to be adding that. Just put, I'll just put for good measure $10 postal fee, and then once you have the form, sorry, the postal slip, put your form that you've this form that you filled out into it, and then you go to your police station, your local police station, and to fill out this form, pretty straightforward. You just go through all the boxes. So, section one, we will need a name and fingerprint check. It's $113. Tick that. Section two, this is when it's optional. So, you don't complete this. The police officer at the police station fill this out for you. So, family name, Smith, John, date of birth, that sort of stuff. All this pretty straightforward. Driver's license number, that sort of stuff. Other names you have used, again, pretty straightforward. You guys all know how to fill out your residential address. Then the section 6, the mailing address for the police certificate. Attention to organization, whatever, Australian Federal Police, criminal records. That's what you put here, Australian Federal Police, criminal records, then unit number, all that, it's here. Locksbag 8550, Canberra City, ACT 2601. Oops. Then payment details. This is where you got to be a bit savvy with your money. So you tick your credit card. You put your credit card details here, and then remember this costs $113, but then your credit card will have a 0.6 whatever percent surcharge, whatever it is. So for this process took about off the top of my head, it was like between 1 and 2 weeks. So while this is getting analyzed by the people in Canberra, you need to keep at least, including the surcharge, just to be safe, at least $120 on this card at all times for the next couple of weeks. Just keep that there, don't spend it. Scroll down to the purpose of check, and then you can see all the reasons. Overseas visa, tick overseas visa. I had a lovely conversation with my local police officer about Spain and how they would like to return and visit more. All amazing. Then applicant's consent, signature, yeah, all that. Pretty easy. Then, if you're Australian, this is pretty obvious. You need to bring 100 points identification to the police station with you, and you need to photocopy this. So, like we did before, you photocopy your passport page, your driver's license, and then probably your Medicare card or your bank card. So we need 100 points. It's the Australian passport, easiest one. Then, oh yeah, one primary document, but in case you want two, get that as well. And then if you just want to be extra safe, maybe photocopy your Medicare card. Then that brings us up to well above 100 points. Pretty easy to do. Everyone's done this before if you live in Australia. Then look, it even lets you do a submission checklist. Everything's complete. I can be reached during business hours. I have attached photocopies of all that provided credit card details. Option obviously fingerprint check, and then here's the address again. Even on the fingerprint check, it needs to be the ink stuff. It can't be. So when you go to the police station with all your paperwork and this form all printed out ready, You need to tell the police officer it needs to be inked. They all have a digital scanner, and don't ask why the Spanish consulate doesn't use a digital scanner. It makes things a lot easier. Other places do use it, but with Spain, it has to be the inked version. So you have to tell that specifically to the police officer, and they will know what to do. And also, so this is what it kind of looks like. It's like a sheet with a template, and the police officer signs it off all for you. You just sit there and basically just listen to what the police officer says. What you should also remind the police officer, if they do forget, you also need the side of your hand printed. They have a template for this as well, but it's a separate sheet. And my police officer forgot as well. So just for reference, it's this part of the hand, like the side there. And then you just kind of plonk it down with your thumb facing up. I believe I did it for both hands, and I believe I did a palm print. My police officer didn't do that. So what happened was I got a call from the Canberra people, and they just said I have to go back to the police station. It's fine. They have it all like a reference number of some sort. I don't need to do it all again. I just need to come back and do the side of the hand, and I believe the palm print, if I remember correctly. But it was whatever. There was just two bits of templates. You just need to complete the two templates. The police officer will know what they're doing. So that brings us to the National Police Certificate. It's within that 3 month time frame. So let's put that here. Yeah, so because that happened to me, I ended up having to pay for two prepaid postal of slips, which is an extra, whatever it was, $7. I can't quite remember, but I'll put completed police certificate, police fingerprint certificate check. So you've kept the $120 in your bank account available for the police to charge, the people in Canberra to charge. Um, and then that took about, I can't remember, about 2 weeks, and then you get a like a piece of paper in the mail just with the results. Once you have that piece of paper, whatever, 2 weeks later, then you have that ready for your appointment date. So now we can go back to here. Spanish health and police clearance requirement. We've done both. We've gotten our medical certificate, the blood test, the urine test from the doctor. Oops, delete range failed. Why is it not working on me now? Let's go add text. And then we've also got the police certificate, the fingerprint check from the police. People in Canberra sorted it out. It took about 2 weeks. So, yeah, that part's done. Okay, now we're on to the next part. Your application for your NIE. This is your número identidad extranjero. Very important number for Spain. It's basically you do basically everything with this number. Um, like for example, if a bit strange, but if you want to buy things like furniture or things like, I don't know, like renovation work, like a piece of timber to build a shelf or something, the furniture place will ask for your NIE, your number, and they won't sell it to you otherwise. Very strange, but that's how it works in Spain. Then you also need it for things like getting a transport card, that sort of stuff. Getting work as well. You need this, like, it's very important number. Um, anyway, to get this NIE, you need to fill out a form. We'll go through that together. It costs 16 AED. Obviously, these fees will change. Check the updated fees on their website or when you get the email from the consular. Non-refundable, obviously, if you don't fill it out correctly, you won't get your money back. You just follow the link, complete the form, and we'll do that together now. Then once you've printed it out, then bring the cash with you, and please again have exact change. So have your notes and stuff, but then keep a few $1 coins on you, maybe a couple 50-cent coins just in case, because they might not have change. Then let's start. So this is a website. I will be putting this in the description as well, and also here. Here it is. Had a bit of trouble doing that, but here it is now. Again, it will be in the description of this video. Okay, let's go and fill out the form. So for this section, NIF, NIE, you obviously don't have that yet. That's what you're applying for. So you put your passport number. And then this section, apellidos en nombre de razón social, you put your surname first, and then in Spain, your surnames, and then your first name. Pretty easy. You should have some sort of like a good enough level to know what these words mean. Not the whole form, because it does get quite bureaucratic. And even Spanish people have trouble understanding like Spanish bureaucratic speak, so don't worry. Next part is your domicilio, your address basically. This is the address in Spain. This is your hotel that you bought for a day in Madrid, just like me. You just go to the hotel website. Most of them just have the required information. Fill out the hotel's address, put it all in. You can easily get that on Google Maps, or the hotel website. Leave that here as principal. Don't touch it. Don't touch anything here. Like we said, it was 16 AUD, but don't worry about that yet. Then this is when it starts getting a bit complicated. You obviously don't. It would be a bit weird if you can't actually understand all of this. But yeah, even Spanish people have troubles like reading all this and every little requirement. Like it's extremely specific, extremely detailed, extremely specific, but don't worry, I've already ticked it. You just need to tick this box. Asignación de número de identidad de extranjero. Yo, yeah. A instancia del interesado. Easy. You tick that box, it's done. Then you scroll down, you declarante, so you put your locality, the date, Sydney. Then this is roughly equal. So this is because we clicked this. It roughly equals 16 AUD, 9.84 euros for forma de pago. As you know from your Spanish lessons, to say in cash, it's en efectivo. Click that. Please just do that. Don't do the other option. Fill that out. Then you download the form, and then it'll let you print it out, and it comes out looking like something from the 1990s. Then there might be that's ready to bring to the consular office. If it needs to be fixed up, that's fine. I believe for mine it did need to be fixed up a bit, and then the lovely consular lady helped me out with that. So that takes us to the application for the NIE. And well, before we complete it up there, we need to add 16 AUD NIE NIE number. Done. Then we can go to our checklist. It's not. It's just part of this. So we've actually completed this section. We've paid our $485 visa fee. We've got our photo ready in the top right corner of the visa application. That was the $19 from the post office. And then your NIE number is now completed. Oh, so we can now say that's all been paid, or at least we have that cash ready. Because again, please bring cash. They don't have a card machine, and most even government offices here don't have card machines. So that's all done for now. Okay, so also for the NIE, you need to fill out the X15 form. So once you've filled out the other form, printed it out, you have to fill out the X15 form. So first, it's just data of the foreigner. So you fill out your passport. You obviously don't fill out your NIE because that's what you're applying for. Your first surname, and then if you have a second surname, which is common here, but most Australians don't have that, you put your second surname. So don't worry about that. Your nombre, your name, sexo, so that's H is for hombre and M is for mujer. So hombre, man, mujer, female, male, female, sorry. Your fecha de nacimiento should be pretty easy stuff if you know a bit of Spanish, by the way. If not, no worries. So fecha de nacimiento is just your birth date. Then lugar is where you were born, and then país is country. Nationality, most people are going to put Australian. Uh, Estado civil, your civil status. So S is for single, soltero. C is for casado, married. V is for viudo, which is widowed. D is for divorciado, which divorced. SP, I actually don't know what that means. So yeah, that only applies to a select few people. Then you put nombre del padre, that's just your dad's name, del madre, so your mum's name. Then your domicilio de residencia. So sorry about that cut. Just to get this correct, addresses in Spain work like this. So domicilio de residencia. First, you would put your street number and the street name. So it'd be like number 20, Carrer de Madrid, for example. And then Nivo is so what floor you're on. So you go 43 Carrera de Madrid, floor 3, piso. Normally it's either left or right. That's how it works. So you'd put izquierda, left, or derecha, right. And then localidad, so Carrera de Madrid, probably in Madrid. Código postcode, provincia, then Madrid, it's in Castilla, I think. And then you put your mobile number, telephone mobile, pretty obvious. Email. You put your email. Then representante legal en su caso. That's only if you have like a legal representative. So if your parents doing this, you're underage, or you have a lawyer for something, it's just their details. So it's your lawyer's name, your lawyer's identity number, and then Mr. So ignore that. And then if you do have this, then you have to fill out section 2. If you don't, then you leave section 2 blank. Then section 3 is your address where you want to be notified. So you can leave this blank if you just want it all in the same address, but again, I'm not sure if you can put your Australian address in this section. So I'd leave that blank and then ask the consular person when they're doing it in front of you, which is what I did. And then consiento, this tick box is if you want to receive electronic notifications about your status and stuff. But this only works if you have like a digital certificate or a permanent clave. So most cases you won't have that, so you can't even tick that box. Then we scroll down, put your name and your surname up here. Then section 4, like why are you getting this document basically? So you tick, I'm getting the NIE, and I'm getting it for residency, like to be a resident, which you will be for 1 year. Your motivos, motives, por interés económicos, that's work-related reasons, that's not this visa. Por intereses profesionales, that's professional reasons, that's not us either. Por intereses sociales, that's that's us. That's for social reasons. So you want working holiday visa, you want to explore Spain, do some tourism, you tick that box. The other ones are just for different visas. Then you put tick that box, social reasons, especificar, then you write out why you're getting this near, and it's just something like for tourism, exploring Spain and stuff, and that's all this is in Spanish, by the way. So get your Google Translate out prepared for your sentence that you're going to write here. Lugar de presentación. Oficina de extranjería. That's not us. We're not going to a foreigner's office. That's normally if you're doing it within Spain. Um, Comisaría de Policía. That's a police station. And we're also not doing this at a police station. So these first two boxes are mainly for like other EU citizens that are getting this near in Spain, it's normal to go to a foreigner's office or a police station. But we, as Australians, are going to the Oficina Consular. Tick that box. Situation in Spain, residencia. And then this tick box, no consiento la I don't consent the above data and documents. The administration can look at it. I'm actually not sure. I think I left that blank. Then you fill this out, the date, your name, then your signature, and then these other pages I actually just left blank. I didn't know what to do, so I just left it blank. Oh yeah, this is just the instructions that we went through to complete it. So yeah, that's it. That's the X15 form completed. So that concludes part 2 of the series. Next part will be the final part, and hopefully it'll be a bit shorter. And it will include the secret part right at the end. So check that out. For now, thanks, guys.